Hi everyone, Roy here. It's December 22nd and I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm creating a goat prairie. And people wonder, what is a goat prairie? Roy, do you have goats? I go, no, I don't have goats. Back in the 70s and 80s, the early prairie folks who were looking for all the remnant prairies in the Chicago area, anything that was a dry hill prairie that you had to kind of climb to, the term goat prairie was used. So what I've done, I saw a friend of mine who unfortunately passed away, very good friend, Tom Vanderpoel. He had a gravel pile by one of the barns that he was working by doing his prairies, and the gravel pile was accidentally left there. And Tom kept throwing seeds from Hilltop Prairies, dry prairie there, and when I saw it, it was one of the most beautiful gardens I've ever seen, prairie gardens. And I asked Tom, how did you do that? And he said, Rod, the gravel was here. I just kept throwing schizachyrium and dahlias and lithospermum on there, and it evolved into this wonderful prairie because the seeds that grow in dry hilltop prairies love and grow and thrive under those conditions. And he kept adding and enhancing every year. And the plants that don't, the more agricultural weeds, have a harder time living in gravel and well-drained conditions. So I thought, I'm going to try that and do a goat prairie here. So what you see is 27,000 pounds of road gravel I brought here with our truck. Dumped it, we kind of formed it a little bit, and we have concrete blocks in here from a concrete patio we had torn out to kind of drift through here. So basically what I'm going to do, which again I've never done before, I have some seed here mixed. I mix the seed with vermiculite. This is Schizachyrium scoparium. I have Coreopsis palmata. I have Allium cernuum mixed in with pale purple coneflower, Echinacea pallida. I have Sporobolus heterolepis, and I have Coreopsis palmata mixed in with a little bit of Asclepias tuberosa. So I'm going to take each bucket that I have mixed, and I'm just going to take the seed out, and this always is a miracle to me that I'm even doing this or trying this. I'm just going to scatter the seed here on the gravel. I can kind of choose where I'd like it to be. Walk up here. I'm done. I just did almost 4 ounces of seed. Got a little bit left in the bucket. I'll just spill that out like that. So I'm not going to do all these because the video would take too long, but I'm going to do the same process. Just kind of scatter them where I believe I can get them to live well and create a nice composition. And then I'm going to top it off with the Schizachyrium and Sporobolus, drifting that through here. I know there's a lot of conversation about seeding, and what Tom Vanderpoel did, he seeded the prairie with his startup combination of short grasses, Schizachyrium and Bouteloua, and other things based on the site. And then he would continue seeding based on assessment. He would assess the prairie per square meter. He'd look at how it was going. He might sow it again if the percentages weren't to his liking. And then after that, he would continue to add other species. And the plants that he had that were living there, the Schizachyrium, Bouteloua, Echinacea that he would start with, and sometimes a modest amount of Eryngium, that would be the welcoming planting and the nursing planting of his next seeding. So instead of competing with what he had put in, those plants that he had put in were actually nursing, caring, and loving for the young seedlings as they germinate. And his prairies kept getting better and better, more diverse and better. And there was no end to what he could do. And what he did then, he scouted the prairie. He would walk along the area and look for weak spots where he might throw in some Sporobolus, and look for other weak spots where he might put in dahlias with Sporobolus. But that continuous sowing was so engaging, and so it's just so beautiful for me to watch. And again, I didn't know how to do it. I just watched and listened to Tom. So I guess I have a request too. Since Tom passed away, he has nothing written down. He had everything in here like most of us do. Through our experiences in life and 40 years of doing things, a lot of times we have it in here. So if any of you knew Tom and appreciated how much he did for the Barrington community and for all the people in the Chicago area. He actually worked for the Chicago Park District too in the prairie areas and the Forest Preserve. What I'm trying to do is write a book and interview everybody he's ever met and shared stories with. And I think when we talk to those people, including myself, my little story with Tom, we can start to understand how Tom looked at sites, how he introduced plants onto those sites, and we can have Tom's thoughts and understanding of putting prairie in a very positive way, ongoing, into something we can share with everybody, including all of you. So again, thanks for your time, and I'm going to have the best time ever right before Christmas and just start scattering seed, and in 3 to 4 years just come out here and sit and just enjoy everything, including the time I have with you. So I'll see you later. Have a good holiday season. Bye.